Hey guys, you tuned into the Technology Podcast. I'm here with my co-host, Uncle Jarro.
Yes.
And Marvin.
What's up?
And we have a special guest in the building.
Oh, special.
Do you want to introduce yourself?
What do I say? It's Kose. That's
Jeez.
She said
Just like that.
It's Kose. Yeah.
No more needed. No
Very
more needed.
intelligent female. Really working in tech. I don't actually know what you've been doing because I tried to scour everything to find out.
Yeah, no, I don't have anything.
Fam, do you know how weird I felt?
It's coming like
No, do you know what it is? After the last podcast, right, I was like, I really tried to do
Your research. There's nothing
find
there. Yeah.
Because the last one, we just sat there and she
We
was
went,
so...
we were absorbing.
You ever like heard someone be so smart, yeah, and you're just like, I have nothing to come and just chat to you about like right now.
Yeah.
I'm just shocked.
Everything. I listened to that podcast and I was like, I'm really scared that I'm coming behind because the knowledge. I said, not PhD, masters, homeowner. I said, I'm still living at home with my parents.
Don't worry, me, I'm still living at home too, and it's kind of the norm,
It's all part
innit?
of the process. Yeah,
You're
it's all
doing
part of
well.
the process.
But yeah, I have a first class degree in computer science.
I'm gonna walk out right now. I'm going to walk out.
Blood, sweat, and tears.
I'm currently working as a technical consultant. I got a promotion today,
Hey.
so yeah, that's why I'm
That's RG.
a bit late. Sorry.
It's alright, mate. It's alright.
We were doing work drinks, drinking to my accomplishments,
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Sipping on.
That's what we're hearing in 2020.
No, rum and coke.
That's the standard, the go-to.
Yeah.
You know you're coming to a podcast and you drank rum and coke. This
I wanted to be lit for you people now. I'm coming to give.
Okay, this is going to be interesting.
I can't talk too much, but I'll give you content. Don't worry.
All right. One thing that we all have in common is going to university in the Midlands.
Oh really?
Yeah.
What unis did you guys go
Hey,
to?
hey.
She's laughing. Did you go what? Leicester?
I went to DMU.
Oh, okay, cool. So that's close enough.
Hmm.
Very close.
Yeah, we went to Aston. in
Oh, okay.
Birmingham. Yeah. So, how has it been just settling back into London?
Interesting.
Leaving that life behind.
Yeah, like coming home and having someone on your case 24/7 has just been strange.
What's your background?
As in country,
Yeah.
I'm Nigerian. My mum's Yoruba, my dad's like Delta, Igbo, so mix.
Interesting.
Gang.
That's your guy over there.
Yeah, I'm here now.
There's not many of us, man. Hybrids.
Yeah, love it. Special, one of a kind. I don't know why you're doing your eye like that. You better fix it.
I just can't relate, innit? I'm not Nigerian.
Okay.
I'm just out here, it's like, yeah, guys.
Where are you from?
Sierra Leone.
Oh, one of my best friends is from Sierra Leone.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I like you. Yeah, it's just been weird adjusting to moving back home.
Do you miss the Midlands?
No,
What?
the ghetto. I don't. I miss living on my own and having that freedom to just come and go. Like literally, if I wanted to get up at 3 a.m. and go to my friend's house, I can do it. Mom, where are you going at this time of night? No, that's not a thing.
Yeah.
But I don't miss the Midlands at all. That place was the ghetto. I'm over it. I was so glad. Like once I finished and I handed my dissertation, I was like, I see ya. I was so ready to leave. Like I'm happy to be back in London. And then because a lot of my friends were already in London, I did a placement year. So my course was 4 years. So I worked as a software developer for a year. And then I went back to what would have been my third year for my fourth year, if that makes sense. Yeah. So all of my friends graduated like a year before me. So they were already back in London, living life, working, enjoying. And I was in uni doing dissertation. So I was very ready to come back. So from like the first week I was there, I was like, oh, this is long. And I didn't know anybody because obviously it's a new year group. So it was literally like starting uni again. But
You're an auntie this time.
Yeah. Like I've always been the youngest in my year group because I was born in June. So I'm like a summer baby. And then coming back and being like one of the oldest was different.
Sorry.
And then obviously it's computer science, so there's not many girls. So then it's like mainly guys, and it was just like, oh, this is so long. Like,
How do you actually manage that environment, by the way?
Yeah.
I'm just
It's a
wondering.
very
That's
good
a good,
question.
yeah.
oof.
But man, them going into computer science is already madness. You just look
Exactly.
left and right. You're just like, wow, this is just.
I know who I'm chilling with.
Yeah.
Man, them there, just dead.
Yeah, it was interesting. I'm very awkward, so I didn't really reach out to anyone or make friends. Like people kind of found me, and I just stuck with those people. And then coming back,
Yeah.
I was
Yo,
just
she
like,
got the-
this is long. No, do you know how many times that happened to me? Like, okay, so when I came back from my placement year, obviously I'm new. They've already made their friendships. They've had like 2 years together. So I'm coming in and they're like, oh, who's this babe? And I come in with nails, weave. Like, I don't look like the typical girl that does computer science.
Yeah.
So they were all like, oh, who's this? Like, I walked into a lecture once and one of the lecturers was asking me, am I okay? Am I lost? I said, I'm in this your lecture. What do you mean? Like,
I'm screaming.
You know,
deal it.
I would have been.
Being a black babe in tech is
Yeah.
you have challenges. Especially one, because I think there's like a stereotype around girls in tech, what they should look like and act like and be like.
What's the stereotype?
Do you know that
Because I
kind
know for
of-
guys
That weird kind of
Oh,
girl
yeah, I
that
know
doesn't
what
really
you're
talk
saying,
to
yeah.
anybody, normally white, that whole kind of, you know.
The spectrum changes, you know. The more creative they get, the more hair colors that they have apparently. That's what you generally see. The more nerdier that they get.
Yeah, like
Yes.
nerdy vibe. And it's just like,
Yeah.
no, I shackle on the beat as well and I do tech. What do you mean? What do you mean?
again. Hey.
Like, we can do both. And I think people were very confused by that. So, yeah, I had to face a lot of like weirdness.
So how did you know like tech was for you? How did you get started? Like what entered your mind to say, yeah, I actually want to study computer programming?
So I've kind of always been around tech. My dad's an IT consultant as well. And I've just always been interested in like computers, computer games. I have an older brother as well. He's 7 years older than me. So whatever he kind of did, I did. So when he was playing like Game Boy, PlayStation, like I was on that as well. So I was always around tech. And then we had like a computer room in our old house with, do you know, the like proper like desktop setup. So I used to play like games on that. Like, so I've just always been into tech. And then I did it at GCSE. I did really well in it. And then did it at A-level. Didn't do too well in it. But I still decided to do it at uni anyway because that was kind of all I knew. I think GCSE gassed me because I think, what did I get? 5 A's, 5 B's and a C. Then I resat the C and the C became a B. So I was like, oh yeah, A-levels is going to be a breeze. And then like AS. I got my AS results and I said, oh, okay, so it's not the same. So yeah, I resat one of my I think I did business, French and English and computing. Computing was fine, business was fine. I had to reset English. I dropped psychology because I had that as well. And then just kind of went on with those 3 because I was like, okay, if computing fails, I've got English. I can do like journalism or something. If that fails, then I've got French. So I had different avenues. That was like a backup plan. But yeah, I did really well in computing. So I just went on to do it at uni. And honestly, I didn't really know what else I would do. Like, I didn't want to be that stereotypical business. You know, like, I feel like...
G's that remember
yeah, all the G's, like... yeah, I didn't want to do that. So I was like, I'm going to do computer science. But yeah, how I got into that was like De Montfort Uni was a funny story.
Go on.
You're gonna hear it.
Floor is yours.
So obviously now I told you AS was kind of a shambles. So I was like, oh. And by then you've chosen your unis, right? So I had been like, yeah, I'm going to go. I chose, I think, Surrey Uni and as my first choice. And then Loughborough is my second choice. And Surrey wanted 3 A's for computer science. And Loughborough wanted, what did Loughborough want? I think A, B, B.
Yeah, Loughborough rejected me too, man. You're not alone in that.
Okay, that's fine. So after AS, I was like, okay, well, I'm definitely not going to get 3 A's. So, you know, Surrey's kind of out of the way. I'm going to focus on Loughborough. But one of Loughborough's conditions was if you didn't get ABB, you could get ABC, but you needed, you get ABC, but you needed to have a B minimum in GCSE maths. And I had a C. I've never been good at maths. I think there's like this whole, I don't know, thing that you have to be good at maths to do computing. But I don't think that's true. I don't think it's true.
I hear that.
Because my mind still works and I still get the logic, but I just have never really enjoyed maths. I never liked maths.
I'm the exact
So-
same.
You can explain the reason as to why.
I don't know. I just,
Depends if you're coming to like physics computing and you're actually applying that, then you're gonna have to understand
yeah.
mathematics in that case to then actually apply it.
But
Yeah,
like
I
for
guess
software?
so.
Well, yeah, for software, but I don't have technical consultant, so I haven't actually had to use too much maths at all.
Yeah, same. I've never really had to come into counter with maths. So I didn't really get why. When I started the course, I was like, why did they even want like all of this maths? Like I didn't need it. But anyway, Shah, so I resat GCSE maths like 3 times before I got the B. I resat it. And then results day comes now. I already got the rejection email from Surrey. I was like, okay, cool. I knew I wasn't going to get the 3 A's. Then the second rejection email came. I said, oh, like, you know, my heart sank. Literally, it was literally one of those moments. And I was literally like hysterically crying. Like I've never, like, I don't take failure well at all. So I was just like, I was trying to tell my parents, I didn't get it. Like my mom was, well, like, what's wrong with you? And I couldn't even get out. Like I didn't get into any uni. Like I was uniless. Like I was just like, oh. As a result, I didn't actually go to my school to get the results until like the end of the day. And it turns out I only missed it by 1 grade. I got ABC. And I was like, so why did they reject me, please?
Well, yeah, they suck. That's what it is.
So my head of year was like, okay, remark the that course. I don't know, I think it was business. Like I somehow managed to flop one of the exams. It's okay. So I had to remark that. But you know how AQA are, that it took so long to remark. It took like 3 weeks. So then by the time the grade went up and I went back to Loughborough and I was like, okay, I got the grade. They were like, oh, unfortunately the course is full, but we can offer you computing and management. I said, from computer science to computing and management, that's not the same thing. And obviously like my parents were like, like I was like, no, it's not the same. Like computing, like, I don't know, Africans, they love, IT, she does IT. No, I don't do IT. Say it properly. I do computer science. Like, don't do that. Don't lessen what I'm doing. Do you get? So the same. So I was like, okay, no, thank you, but no, thank you. Yeah. So then I had to go through clearing, and then that's how I ended up in De Montfort University.
I thought you said this story was funny. This isn't funny.
To me, looking back on it, I was like, okay, everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
But at the time, I was like, I'm finished. Like, and all of my friends in the group chat, like, I got into this, I got into that. And I didn't even say, I left the group chat even.
Don't feel bad.
Really?
I left the group chat.
I'm not going to lie to you, it's Pete, because I had to resit.
Oh, yeah.
Fam, we had the same experience, fam. That first year, and you get your grades back, you just sat there looking at the paper, just like, I know this year's bad, didn't it, man?
Damn.
I sat there, I remember I got my paper, and you see, this I knew I had people that didn't like me, but they were real G's. I sat down and had the paper there in front of me,
I'm so sorry.
right? And I just sat there distraught, so I'm just sat there like this.
I can imagine it.
For like a solid like 5 minutes. The guy
I'm waiting for asking.
he didn't ask me. He came and looked at me and was like, didn't do well to you? I was
Bella.
like, nah, I didn't do well. He's just like, well, what did you expect? You did this, that, and the other. I was like, I had to look at him and be like, you're right, but you're a prick. You're right, but you're a prick. I wanted to cry. I think I did cry actually. I was just sat there.
Yeah.
It's terrible. It's terrible. I understand the pain though.
We've all been there.
Yeah, we did that.
But yeah, looking back on it, I feel like it all happened for a reason, and I'm where I am, and I'm meant to be where I am.
Look at God.
Yeah, thank God, thank God.
Okay, you said that you did a placement as well, right? Jamal, you did one too. I don't actually think we've actually spoken about your just placements, your whole experience with that.
Oh, I think I said the placement was a funny story. Well, shout either way, we'll talk. Yeah, so
Can find out after.
my course was originally 3 years, but they gave you the option to switch to do a placement year. And after second year, I was like, there's no way I'm going to go into third year and do some magical final year project. I don't have enough coding experience. Like I'm going to flop. I'm not going to get the first class, which was what I was always going in with, because I was like, okay, I didn't get into my uni of choice. I have so much to prove, to myself. I believed I had a lot to prove to everyone and to myself that I need to bang this first, just because I didn't get into my uni of choice. Like I want to do this just so I can feel okay. So I was like, if I just go into third year, I'm not gonna get the first class. Like I knew it. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna start applying. And I started applying early. And that process was just so bloody long. Like,
Hella rejections.
so many rejections.
I'm so sorry on this occasion.
On this occasion, we've decided that you are no longer going forward in this process. I said, oh God, like, there was one point I gave up. I was crying to my mum. I was like, I'm not going to do it. Like, I'm going to fail. I'm going to get 2-2. Like, I was just over it. Yeah. There were times I'd go to interviews or like group assessment days. I'd be the only woman, the only black person. Like, it was just long. Like, all of the odds were stacked against me. I'll never forget, there was one particular interview I went to and they were all like white guys. And then they were now like, oh, we'll do an icebreaker. So say what uni you go to and what you study. Yeah. So all these guys comes, right, I'm Harry, study computer science at Cambridge. I'm Jack the lad. And all of them, like, they were already, for the like first like 10 minutes that we were there, they were already talking about football and stuff. And I just had nothing to say. I have no interest in football. I can't comment. So I was just sat there like looking like, okay. And then now the icebreaker started. There's people from like Warwick, like the red brick universities, like Cambridge, Oxford, Warwick. Then I now come to my own. I'm Kose. Can you speak up, love? I was like, hey God. Like, do you know when, like, I was just like, what is this? I was like, yeah, I'm Kose. I study computer science at De Montfort University. Do you know one boy said, where? I know you've heard of this uni. Don't be a mad person. He said, where?
He should identify himself, please.
I said, what's this? Then they now gave us one riddle. I don't even know. Like, it was just mad. Like, I've never sat any type of exam or like assessment like that. It was like pseudocode, but it just didn't make sense. I was just scratching my head. After a while, I was like, you know what? I've already accepted like the culture alone. I'm not even going to fit in, let alone this assessment they're giving me. So I was like, let's just scrap that. That was the final straw. Like, my mom was asking, I was like, look, don't even ask me. I didn't get the job. So let's just be moving on from that. It was like a week or so now before I had to go back to uni. I'd even changed student finance to be like, look, I'm coming back. Or don't cancel the application. I'm still coming back. Like, I'm just gonna accept my fate.
That was the same flex I had.
I'm just gonna accept my fate.
They just accept.
So I was on holiday. I was in Portugal, funny enough, and I got a random. I think I got an email. Yeah. They're like, hi, like, are you still interested in this job for like software developer? I was thinking, which one was it? To this day, I don't actually remember applying for this role.
That's how it gets.
They're like, sorry that we didn't get back to you in time, but are you still interested? And I was like, yeah, I'm interested. So she was like, oh, can you come in this week? And I was like, actually, I'm not in the country. I'm on the beach in Portugal. And they're like, oh, it's fine. Like, we're a technology company, so we'll just have the interview via like Skype. I said, okay, it's as well. Told my mum I called London. I was like, yeah, interviewed. So everyone was happy. Yeah. The whole time we'd been in Portugal, everything was working. Wi-Fi was working. Internet was working. We were streaming. We were watching Netflix, watching Spotify. We were doing the doing. Yeah. Let me know why now. It comes to the day of the interview. All of my friends that I was with, they've driven off. They've left me in the villa by myself. So like, okay, have the house to yourself. Do the interview. When you're done, call us. We'll come back. Yeah. So I've set up the laptop, everything. Luckily, I even had my laptop. God is good. He just works in amazing ways. So had the laptop set up. Everything's working now. The two guys are on the screen. They're like, hello. I was like, hi. Then they're like, oh, can you introduce yourself? I start introducing myself. Then I can hear the guy like, oh, we've lost her. I was like, hello, hello, hi. They're like, oh, we've lost her. They were now trying to like connect. I was like, what the hell is going on? Hello, hi, I'm here. No, nothing. Then he was like, we're going to have to move on to the next candidate. Do you know how my heart dropped?
Hearing that.
Obviously, they don't know that I can hear the audio. They think it's disconnected. So I'm like, Jesus. Like, I was like, this cannot be happening. Like, I called London. My mum was now praying in tongue, in the name of Jesus. Like, you know, all of the. I was like, this cannot be happening because what is this? Like, the internet had been fine.
Yeah.
I went over to the router. As I walked over, do you know the light switched off? I said, what is going on? Like, everything cut out. Like, everything. I was like, what is going on? Like, the devil is working hard.
Wow.
I was like, okay, what do I do here? Called my friends. They came back. We somehow got I don't even know what they did. Restarted. I think generator had cut out as if we're in Nigeria. What's all of this? So anyway, now they've fixed it. I've managed to message them back. And she's like, oh, it's fine. We'll just set up another day, like tomorrow, the next day.
Okay.
And I was like, to my friends, look, guys, stay in the house this time because I don't know what happened. I don't know whether, maybe it was me. I don't know. But just stay around. So if anything happens, you're here. So next day now, did the interview. They were asking me questions. I'd been revising, like, yeah, I've got this. They're like, what's a class? I was like, yeah, I know this one. What's an object? I know this one. Yeah. So I was like saying all of the answers. And then, yeah, that same day, that evening, they messaged me that, we'd like to offer you a preliminary offer. I was like, oh God, it's good. Like, I was so happy. I was crying. I called London. I was like, I've got a job. Like, But it was in Northampton, so I had to start looking for accommodation literally while I was in Portugal. Then the day I flew back, I literally went straight to Northampton to look at different like accommodation. Yeah. And then I found one, literally just picked it and then started working the next week. So it was a very crazy experience, but I got it. And I think that's what helped me get my job now. Because I have friends that are still looking for jobs that have got like 2-1s, first classes in computer science, and they're still looking for jobs. And we graduated in July last year. So I feel like the placement definitely helped.
100%. It's all about experience.
Yeah.
Experience.
Real talk. And a portfolio too.
Yeah.
I think I have a similar experience in just go into an interview and you're just like, what's this? Like,
the ones you've that's it. I ain't getting
like, bro, like literally, it was in Reading, yeah. So like from Brum to Reading, I had to wake up at 4 or 5 a.m. Eyes red, everything. Get dressed.
Was this whilst you were at uni?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Yeah. Get dressed, get the train all the way down to Reading. And this ticket is...
It's not cheap.
It's not cheap. And obviously in the month, I'm not budgeting for this.
Yeah.
I didn't budget for that.
Yeah.
This is your food money. This is your rent
You
money.
eat that Indomie for the rest of your life. Right? The rest of the term, you'll be eating Indomie. Tragic.
So yeah, I get on the train obviously early morning, and I'm destined to go to Reading, and just happenstance, like my cousin, her family lives in Reading as well, so I'm just like, okay, cool. I'm gonna go on my ACES interview, and then I'll just go back real quick, and we'll catch up. And I get there, and I'm not gonna mention the company, but it was in. Have you heard of the Cody Technological Park? This place, yeah. If there was Silicon Valley of the UK,
wow,
this place was buff.
To gas you.
Gas me bears, yeah. Reading, just outside of Reading. I forgot what the actual place was called. So I'm just like, okay.
Anyone go there?
Nah, man, gated
community.
Man. You got your own gate, man.
My chest is hurting for you.
This story's gonna end. So obviously, like, even en route there, I'm trying to get in the zone. I'm trying to practice. I'm trying to this. The train is packed. There's this woman who's doing her makeup on the train, and she's so calm, so composed. This train is moving left to right. She's still there. So I start a conversation with her. Real talk. I can tell, like, she's been through it. I start a conversation with her, and it turns out she recently left her job, and she's self-employed now. She has her own business, and we had that dialogue, and it really took my mind off things and that. So I entered this interview, in such a good mental space, but just I'll get there. Anyway, get to the gate. I get to the gate, and obviously you can see me. I'm suited and booted, and the gate man now comes. sounds like I'm a night fam. The gate guy now comes.
Okay, man.
And yeah, he asked me, what's my business there? I tell him, he's like, okay, cool, come and wait with the others. I'm like, others?
Which of us will please?
Exactly.
This is not
So-
what I signed for.
I go in now, I sit down, and I'm just seeing familiar faces. Aston,
Oh man.
and then the rest are just like from some other unis. And it's like, obviously, you lot did computer science, innit? So they're like, I've never seen you before. I was like, bro, do you go to lectures? He's like, he's just started laughing as if I made a joke. So then I brought up your names, and they happen to know both of you. But anyway, we're going into the interview now, and just into the complex as into the complex. Buff, company here, company there, company there. Buff. Go upstairs, go into the office. Yeah, non-companies. Go into the office, and walking through the office, they've got a business section, the tech section, and all as I'm walking through, lounge, kitchen, yada yada yada. No black faces, none, zero.
Listen, when you see there's no blackface, just I don't know. It's a tough one because why can't you be the first black person? But then at the same time, it's like, do you want to have to go through all of that stress of being the first black person?
That was.
It's long.
It wasn't.
I actually have to think about it. Still.
It is long.
No, but you
Because on my placement, I was the
Forcing
only
jokes.
black
Oh my
person,
days.
and the subtle racism that I faced,
Fam.
it as well.
you've got to remember as well, like my support system are in Birmingham, and in London.
Yeah.
So fair enough, I have extended family in Reading, but that's not my immediate family. Like, I'm close with my cousin and everything. I'll be blessed, but they now have a system where you buddy up with, like, obviously your colleagues, so whoever's you're in the office with. Fair enough, it can work, innit? But I don't actually believe you're meant to see your colleagues every day. First in the morning, as I wake up, you're the first face I see. Nah, man, it's bad vibes, man. So it was just like these subtle things, innit? These little things. So when it came to, like, it was a 3-tier interview. So when it came to the technical side, I'm just like, nah,
It is
I
well.
don't want to do it.
So by the time we got to the end, you were just
I'm just not gonna do it.
wait. So when they say your buddy and you said you have to see this person first thing in the morning,
No, they didn't.
what's the
obviously-
extent?
No, obviously. he's
Because
not.
Paul's being poor right now.
No, come on, you get what he means. Man.
There's certain things I'm not gonna do in it, and
Yeah.
that was just one of the things that I said,
It's not for you.
because imagine, like, you will ring me, every conversation will be the same. I'm not. I hate it here, man. So
The ghetto.
no, but the company was good and all of that, but yeah, it just wasn't for me. So I actually didn't do a placement.
Yeah, same for me.
Yeah, fair enough.
I did a series of internships, and that was that.
Yeah, fair
It's
enough.
similar experience because during that second year, they was like, "Oh, we need to be doing stuff for placement." I was like, first of all, how am I gonna have a placement and not have a job if I don't have the grade to even get it? Because our uni tried to kill us every turn. So we're out here, and they're like saying, "Okay, so remember the 1 week? There was 1 week of hell where we had like 3 exams, 2 essays due, something to demo. Do you remember that week?"
Bro, everything has died.
He's died in the back of your head. Fam, this is scarring. This is like
repressed memories.
it's like PTSD for me because I remember I even have the video. It was just like we finished one exam. We were like, "Wait, we gotta go revise for the other one." Yeah, and you can see the pain in my eyes because I was just like, we have to go from here to this now room to now go and study. We're gonna be there for at least 12.
Was it 5th floor with the, the business room?
Yes.
I
He
think you said it
remembers the
died.
floor.
No, it came back.
It's there.
I told you, PTSD
In the
is
subconscious.
done and died. It just sat there in the back of your head, fam. It's in
You
the soccer
can't
place.
forget that one.
It's not going anywhere.
Oh,
I remember just sitting there and we're just like, yeah, no, we need to do it. And then people would just come in with their mouth, "Oh, you need to do stuff for your placement. Can you fuck off?" I don't have to do nothing for my placement. Because if I don't have my grade to get the job in the end,
Yeah.
how am I
it's
gonna get
true,
this
it's
placement?
true.
because that's what our course is doing. So there's no point actually going and doing the placement. I need to actually put in 100% of my effort to get in the grades that I can. Because if I don't, we're not going to even finish this course. You know what I mean? So it's all madness. You man that did placement.
Well, yeah, hats off to you lot, man. Because that whole application process,
It was long. I can't lie.
it's a part-time job.
Yeah.
It's a full-on part-time
But
job.
it prepared me for like applying for actual jobs because I was like, okay, I already know what to expect.
That's trauma, man.
It is trauma.
Hella
I
trauma.
can't lie. It's
I
very
used to-
traumatic.
What you call it? I used to keep like a separate doc of like the things I'm gonna, like on application.
The stuff you're gonna say.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Answer, innit?
the answers to the questions. Yeah. 100%.
Just type
100%.
You've asked me this.
Do you know what annoys me? You've asked for my CV, then you want me to now input every individual job that I've done. Again, why did you ask for the CV?
That's a disrespectful thing.
Why did you ask for the CV,
That's
please?
rude. Because I don't understand. How are you going to go and I give you the information and you tell me, can you give me the information in a way in which I can take it in? I've given it to you. Can you not read?
You know, after a while, jobs like that, I'll just close the tab. Like, I don't have time. I don't have time.
Thank God for LinkedIn, man. Quick uploading.
So swift.
Because I just got so tired. Like, application process is long. It's long. Telephone interview, the generic question. Then after that, face-to-face interview, group interview. I said, I'm over it. I'm tired.
You sound like you've been through the weeds, fam. Because
I have.
What my job was like Skype interview, innit? So I was just kind of blessed. But when I was having that conversation with my guy, it just seemed like the guy was like my friend. So when I was just talking,
That's so blessed.
It was actually a calm thing. Although I don't know if I'd say everybody should do the same kind of thing and actually have like a Skype interview because
it's difficult though because sometimes like the questions that you're asked is just like these abstract thinkers just want you to.
They want you to come and break your head. They want you to come and break your head. Fam, no, the job pisses me off. I remember before I actually got the job I had now, there was another place that asked me to come and do a test. Not to actually like go and do a test, but they give you like a test and they say that we need you to solve like something. Like the one they told me was a maze. I remember I was doing it, I was like, this feels like uni work. I don't want to do it. Because at some point, there's like a pain that started going through the side of my head. We're laughing, but I think it's like a genuine thing. I started getting migraines. Final year.
You know when
that's called bad vibes.
There's some jobs,
vibes.
There's some jobs, when they give me that, I'm like, so
just say.
Yeah, it's true.
I don't even see it anymore.
Yeah.
I sat down for a week. My mum was just like, where's the results? I was like, I don't have the results.
I applied for Morgan Stanley, funny enough.
Hi.
And I got through like the first like 2 rounds and they now said technical test. They said they gave us one like coding environment. They're like, okay, you have 2 hours to complete the test. When I read the question, I closed the tab. I said, that's fine. I won't work at Morgan Stanley.
It's not my time.
That's actually like,
because if this is the test and my head is hurting like this, what will working be like? I said, no, I don't want it.
Yeah.
I can't come and kill myself for a job. Why?
Because I actually don't think like in uni you're not prepared for that. That's not what we go through. It's not what we do at all.
No. Uni doesn't. What does uni actually prepare us for? In theory, like.
I learned about uni as a whole, or
as a whole.
Just,
course.
all right.
Oh, okay.
The course is one thing. If you look at uni as a whole, right? Other than your course, and even then your course is even sometimes 50-50. Maybe you might learn something today. Maybe you might not.
That's what I'm saying because uni, like. So what did I learn? What did I learn?
Like I don't know. You come out, you're just like, I think I just wasted 27 grand. Plus food, time, and money.
Yeah.
Like it's just weird. But then I think about it, it's just like it is to some extent applicable. And I'm actually having the deep life.
I'd definitely say like it's an enabler, innit? So it gets you from A to B. But as for the 3-4 years spent, that's another story.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I really just undercut uni. No, uni does teach us a lot. I'm trying shit. I just have to now backtrack. I start thinking, okay, friends, education system, actually did work. Now I've got the job. I can actually do stuff.
Sometimes it's the course.
I don't know.
Like you said, sometimes the course.
Yeah, the course.
Maybe you
I
can find it on YouTube. Maybe your lecturer might not be.
I can't lie. My course, it's like 50-50. I can't lie because I did computer science. So like they would teach you code, but not to industry level or not to a standard where you can produce anything. That's why I did the placement personally, because I was like, you now want me to go and basically produce industry standard something for final year. How am I going to do that? We've literally used a term to learn basic HTML, basic CSS, basic JavaScript. Like, what am I going to do with that? I'm just going to build maybe one website. There might be one flying web part in the side. Like that's not going to do anything. Like that's not going to get me a first class.
It isn't.
So I was now calculating like how, like this doesn't make sense. Like I don't really feel, I don't know, it's weird. Maybe software engineering, if you did like a very specific course where you know you're going to learn like programming languages in depth, then
Yeah.
okay, cool. But computer science was very broad. So we did databases, data structures, algorithms. Like there was just so much packed into 3 years. I think I personally learned more on my placement. Like I learned how to code in JavaScript and jQuery in like my entire placement year. In final year, I taught myself Angular for my final year project. And I did that in 6 months. Like it's all about like self-learning really. I don't know. I can't say
Is when I was like,
when you deeped your life. I don't think like, I don't know. Maybe I'm downplaying it, but
No, you're not. You're doing it, Gus. Enough.
I don't know.
facts.
All the sick programmers I know, they're self-taught.
Yeah.
Facts.
And they'll be teaching you stuff that's been like not even, the industry doesn't even use that. Why am I, see?
Deep Negro spiritual side.
Leaning. Learning C was just the bane of my life. Like C almost killed me. Learning to code in C.
So
I
you
just
don't like maths at all. You don't like maths at all. I like C.
no.
I like maths.
No. If fair enough, it was a C sharp, okay, C++, okay. They said C. I said, who is using C? Name me one company now that you know is using C.
Don't do it, Marvin.
Who is used? Like, it's not even used. Like, why are we doing this? Like, that was the only module that I did that I got less than 60%.
So let's talk. Because it does depend on what level that you're trying to apply the code. So I think when it comes to really high level coding, that's when you have stuff like that's based in C coding.
Yeah.
Because I know that when it comes to certain, like Unreal, the engine that they use C and C++ and Blueprint. Unless they don't use C, then I'm confused. But they use stuff like C and C++ because it's faster for processing data.
Okay, fine.
So
fair enough.
when it does come to software engineering, that's when they start asking you to do that.
Yeah, okay. But we never got to that level though. You're teaching us the basics, like, and the basics is even madness. So I hated that module so much, and it was the only module that I was close to failing. I said, the devil, I've tried.
You know?
Don't work so hard, but I work harder, baby, because I was like, I'm not like, I have first class to get. Like I was on it. And as a result, like I think I spent more time revising for that than anything else, just to make sure that I didn't fail. But C was just long. And then we touched on Java, which I was good at, front end, so like HTML, CSS, all of that stuff. But like it was never in depth enough to now be able to go out and be like, yeah, I can build something tangible with this. I don't know. Maybe that was just De Montfort, and maybe that was just going to a uni that wasn't red brick. I don't know. But yeah.
Okay, at that point we're gonna have to get someone from red brick uni.
Yeah.
I'm so sure. With the thing I used to say, and I'm sure everybody used to say, is that every degree is not the same.
It's not.
And when you go to uni, can actually like influence it. So we'd have people that are going to like BCU, which is a good uni. Don't get me wrong. There's nothing to knock about going like Birmingham City, but when they did their computer science course, they're coming out flying colours. Meanwhile, we have like a drop rate of like 50% per year.
Yeah.
So we start with 200, and then we come back. We're like, yo, where's half of you gone? Like,
Yeah,
no,
no,
you come back the year
100%.
gone again.
100%.
You know what I mean? So, well, God is real, because whoever finishes, really, you need the strength.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean? It's not just you. I think for each and every one of us, when we sat down, we did. Okay, so no, I was gonna start like just dropping like courses. I was like, I'm actually gonna want to start rushing lecturers, because some of these men, I'm not even like that kind of guy, but some of the stuff we studied, when they came to data structures, we got pissed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because the stuff that they're teaching you
It doesn't apply to
anything.
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense at all.
Yeah, no, I can't lie.
So what did you do for your final year project?
What was the there? I made a smart attendance monitoring system.
Oh,
That's what was on one of our lists.
oh,
It was on one of the lists.
so what? You're the ones like, because of people like you, we had to start tapping in for lectures now.
Oh shit! No, that's it. But I'm so annoyed because isn't it working for like a percentage of your grade?
Now it is.
Oh, now it
I
is.
think now it is.
So there are people that are going to be like, "You made me suffer."
Sorry.
Of course it.
Our uni was on
yeah.
one of the final project list that you can pick from.
Oh, really? They gave you a list?
Yeah.
They gave us a list, but like it just wasn't anything. I needed something that interests me or something that I actually cared about because I just...
And you just decide if you are late, we should know.
It's quite, I'm more like, it does sound like a lit final year project to do. You're pissed because there are people coming for your neck, but it sounds so lit. Like,
yeah, and I just, like, with us, the list they gave us, they also suggested programming languages to use with that. And then based on your, like, option, you'd also be assigned, like, I don't know, what they called, like a tutor, like a personal tutor who would, like, help you with the project.
Help.
Help. I say that in quotation marks. The help was not there, but that's another story. So I was just like, I don't really want to do any of these programming languages. Like, I'm not strong enough in Python or like PHP. That's another one that I just hate. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to try and challenge myself. That was madness. I'm not even going to lie. I shouldn't have done that. But it worked in the end. So I was like, okay, I'm going to try Angular because it's kind of new and upcoming. And I want to be able to say that I've learnt this programming language myself. So I was like, okay, I'll use Angular for the front end, Java Spring Boot for the back end-ish, because I'm good with Java. And then I'll use SQL for the database and like set up like a RESTful API between the both, like the two. So it was making sense. I was like, okay, I kind of know how I'm going to do this. So I just need to learn Angular, which is like TypeScript. And I've never used that before. So first I had to spend like the first like month and a half learning the basics of TypeScript. And then...
Sound like a job.
And then once I'd learnt the basics, then kind of keep on learning and developing and writing the dissertation. So that was low-key madness, I'm not going to lie. But I learnt it in 6 months. So now I can say I can code in Angular. And a lot of jobs, like front-end developer jobs that I was like looking at, they wanted to see like experience in SAS, React, Java, and Angular. So I was like, okay, I've made a logical decision here. It makes sense. But yeah, that's what I made before I start waffling.
No, amazing. It's actually pretty sick.
So yeah, I basically learned Angular in 5 to 6 months. But the thing about that is when it came to writing up the dissertation now, they kind of suggested that write the code, then start the dissertation. But it got to a stage where, because I was learning as I was developing, I didn't have the luxury of finishing it off. Like I was still making changes and then having to write up the dissertation. So let's say now we've reached the day of deadline, 12 o'clock in the afternoon, this thing is due. It's 10 o'clock. It's 10 o'clock in the morning. I'm still writing. Like that was the longest night of my life. Like I'm not even gonna lie to you. The longest night of my life.
It's peak.
Like me and my friend, we were up, both of us, on FaceTime. She was in her accommodation, I was in mine.
Did she study the same?
She studied computer science with me. Shout out Jasmine. And I propped my phone up. I was like, look, okay, we're gonna support each other here because we literally have like 6 hours and counting before this thing is due.
Wow.
The dissertation is not finished. I hadn't done any testing. And you know, there's like a whole section of the dissertation just for testing. I hadn't done it.
Oh, wow.
It was me, my laptop, and God in that room. I can't even lie. Like it was only God's grace that I finished that and I handed it in. I stayed up for over 24 hours. I've never done that in my life. Like I was literally shaking. Like afterwards, my eye was twitching. Like
that sleep must have
the sleep was beautiful. Chef's kiss. The sleep after, I literally slept for 2 days. I'm not even gonna lie. My mum was even calling me like, we haven't heard from you. Oh, what's going on? I was like, listen, please. You don't know the suffering that I've just endured just to hand in.
I feel like with computer science, the dissertations are just, it even should be called something else. If we don't even call it dissertation, final year project. Final year because it's the dissertation, which is long itself, which is what, minimum 9K words? Or between 6 and 9. Okay.
Really?
Yeah. So I won. Oh God. Do we actually?
Ours was minimum 15. On top of the code. Minimum 15.
There's a point where I just clocked it. Like when you're saying dissertation, it's different because when we did ours, our one was the project that we had to do for the entire year, but then we're also doing write-ups on top of it. To have something demonstratable, like have something solid. But then they were just like, 8K after that. Like that's it.
That's blessed. If I had to write 8K, I'd be smiling. Like in the end, I even went over, but they give you a 10% allowance over or under. So then I ended up writing like 20K words.
Jeez.
I wrote a book. I should have brought it. I wrote a book. Like I'm not even gonna lie, because I had to go through.
What were you writing, please?
I had to go through the research and like how I basically taught myself Angular. And then like how all of the parts, the components like work together. And then I had a whole section on like RESTful APIs. Yeah. And then the testing, we had to do research as well. So I like was, I think I was interviewing like lecturers and students, like how do you like your attendance being monitored? Like you had to do research as well. So, the thing was
what I mean. Like, it's just, you have to do, like in other dissertations, fair enough that you have to do all of this primary research, the qualitative and quantitative data gathering and whatnot. But in ours, you have to do that on top of the madness of creating a software application.
Something. And that's why I was like, you think I'm going to now enter third year without having at least 1 year's experience? You're mad. I said, by force, I will get a placement. I don't care where it is. I'll even take a year out if I have to, and then just intern at different places or shadow someone. But I'm not going to just walk straight into final year without having some sort of experience. That's setting myself up for failure. Like I knew my capabilities. And I was like, I'm not wasting 27K, you dumb. Uni is 9K a year. What do you mean? So I'm now going to enter and then come out with what, 2-2 or third?